Today we are going to talk on a very special issue, an issue that's burning for the generations to come, an issue or a cause that has destroyed the families. I'm talking about alcoholism. Alcoholism has become a social evil in the society. A birthday, a funeral, good news, bad news, hard work, boredom, depression, a harsh word, anything at all is an excuse to take that first drink. We'd give it everywhere for all the social occasions without realizing what the consequences can be or may be. I know of a man who was a thorough gentleman, very helpful, very concerned about the society during the daytime. But at night, after the alcoholic influence on him, he becomes almost like an animal, firing bad words, visiting the same family that he was with during the daytime, where he fires bad words outside, even goes with a knife, wanting to stab the same person who had actually bore with him. This is the disease. It's a disease which throws the individual and his family socially, emotionally, and financially totally off guard. Today, we're going to speak about the causes of this alcoholism, the reasons why people take to alcohol. And for this, I've got a personality who has been moving around the society in spite of being a man of God. He's roaming far and wide for the social cause because he believes that service to humanity is the best work of life. Apart from his holistic duties, he takes time to move around, to identify the causes and the problems faced by the society today. He's hailing from Corja Aldona. He's a priest, doctorate in psychology, Father Clifford Castelino. He is going to speak to you about the causes of alcoholism. I now hand over to you, Father Castelino.
We all know who is an alcoholic. Yes, he's the one probably you find him on the roadside. One who begs for 1 or 2 rupees or 5 rupees. Or one who does not take up responsibility of his family. He's the one who denies that he has a drinking problem. Yet, he feels guilty of his drinking habits. Is this an alcoholic bad, mad, sad, or sick? What leads him to alcoholism? There is no single cause of alcoholism. In fact, there are dozens of risk factors, both internal and external factors, contributing to the development of alcoholism. Internal factors include genetics, psychological conditions, personality, personal choice, drinking history. External factors could include family, environment, religion, social and cultural norms, age and social status, job status. Some of the environmental factors could be seen in the family also. At parties, the elderly, as they play around with their small kids and toddlers, they allow them to sip from their parents' glass. Probable. This is the beginning of the later full-blown alcoholic. At jobs setting, now there are a lot of jobs where people work at night shifts. Some companies have this culture of happy hour. And what do they do exactly in this happy hour? They have a nice time with the bottle. Beginning of a habit for some, may not be for all. Another environmental factor could be the proximity of retail sale of alcohol. But all can be the personal choice of the person. Someone can decide to accompany his friends at the bar, but others can avoid and do avoid occasions that are oriented to drinking, and they do not develop this disease of alcoholism. The National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism identifies one of the reasons as peer pressure. In Konkanni, we have this nice thing said, "Tu gere, haun gere, na zalyar tu mazo friend ni re." You take, I will also take, and this is a sign of friendship. And many young people succumb to this. And one of the cause could be due to low self-esteem, wanting to be in that group, fear of being rejected. Probably these young people do not know skills of interpersonal relationships. Drinking at the early age can lead to alcoholism. Center for Disease Control and Prevention in 2010 marked that 50.9% of young people below the age of 18 are regular alcoholic drinkers. The National Council of Alcoholism and Drug Dependency in the US have shown reports where those who had alcohol below the age of 15 were probable alcoholics. The chances are 5 times more than others. They compared with those who started having alcohol at the age of 21. And this difference was seen among those who started their first drink below the age of 15. Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services reported in 2011 showed that 26.4% of persons below the age of 12 consume alcohol. Research has shown that drinking at the early ages, frequent alcohol consumption over a long period of time builds tolerance to alcohol, which means one needs more alcohol to feel the same effect one used to feel with less. Alcohol actually rewires the brain to desire and depend on alcohol, and these effects are cumulative. Another reason why people go to have a drink is advertisement and TV programs portray drinking as pleasurable and socializing agents. Some show even discussion that there are medical benefits of consuming alcohol without speaking about the side effects. Social factors also contribute towards one's drinking habit. One's culture. There's a village in Goa itself where everybody of the house needs to have a first drink. The parents have it and they give it to their children. And you find the whole ward, the whole village is suffering from the disease of alcoholism. Economic conditions and status. Party culture. It is said, idle mind is a devil's workshop. Kill time, fun time is where people can have their first drink, which can lead them to become alcoholics. The new trend, the Executive Women's Whiskey Club, is another status symbol which can draw people towards alcoholism. The misconception that feast without alcohol does not sound like a feast is yet another occasion where the seeds of alcoholism can be sown. Taking alcohol with medicines, which can end up being life-threatening. Some people take alcohol with medication to do away with the unpleasant effect of the medication. But this can be fatal. Young people having their parents or relatives who are alcoholics increases the rate of alcoholism as one spends time around those people who drink. There is social learning taking place, thus encouraging one to have a drink. Some of the internal factors, one among them is psychological factors. It has been noted that people who suffer from some of the mental illnesses are also people who consume alcohol. People who are depressed take recourse to alcoholism. People who also go through mood disorders, specifically bipolar disorder, they also, among them, quite a number take recourse to alcohol. And the biggest number of people who consume alcohol among the mental illnesses as people suffering from schizophrenia. And they do this because alcohol has a numbing effect on their emotions. Some people are unable to have control over their emotions. Drinking is an effort to reduce stress, but can quickly turn problematic for the person. One needs to note that not every person turns to be alcoholic, but there are chances that some can be alcoholics. Another one could be the personality factors, temperament of the person. There are some people who do not care about the risk factors. They disregard risk factors. And that can lead them to become alcoholics. Biological factors. There is no one gene that is responsible for the disease of alcoholism. In fact, research has shown that a combination or association of 51 genes of various chromosome regions may promote one to become an alcoholic. Brain studies, the structure of the brain. Scientific studies have shown that there are certain regions of the brain are smaller in the alcoholics. Another factor is the neurotransmitters that are there in the brain. When alcohol enters the bloodstream, it affects the nervous system and the brain cells, cause brain to produce more neurotransmitters such as serotonin. The right level of serotonin in the brain enables normal behavior such as eating and sleeping. When large amount of alcohol is consumed, high level of serotonin is produced. Abnormal levels of these neurotransmitters have led to taking more alcohol to have a feeling of well-being. And when an alcoholic wants to give up alcohol, the person suffers withdrawal symptoms. Thus, it is difficult to give up on alcohol. Over time, brain gets conditioned and tells the body that you need another drink. The neurotransmitters act as reward mechanisms. There is another explanation. It says that the brain of some people is lethargic, and the additional neurotransmitters that have been created in the brain are not destroyed. Therefore, the need to drink increases in the alcoholic. It is said, first impression is the last impression. Similarly, for many alcoholics, after the drink, their life improved, their moods were restored, they were on high spirit. Those who were shy could go up and talk out. talk to someone. But over a time, this heavy consumption of alcohol can deplete the stores of serotonin and dopamine, the two neurotransmitters that produce feelings such as euphoria and a sense of calm and happiness. Still, the person falsely believes that the alcohol is the one who can keep me at high spirits. These are some of the causes that, some of the risk factors that leads one to alcoholism. Alcoholism is a disease of the mind, body and the soul. Alcoholism is a disease of the mind because it is the obsession of the mind. The mind continuously tells the alcoholic that you need to have a drink. And when the alcoholic gives in to the dictates of the mind, the first drop creates the allergy. The craving grows, and when the craving increases, the drink increases. And finally, it is a disease of the soul. The person does things that he would never want to do. He becomes irresponsible. He feels guilty about all that he is doing. Yet, it takes time for him to believe that he can make the change. He is not responsible for having the disease. He is responsible to keep himself away from the disease. Thank you.
Father Clifford Castelino has given a very effective talk about the causes of alcoholism. It was quite alarming when he said 95% of the youth below 18 years consume alcohol. Friends, if you have not taken alcohol, don't do it. If you have taken already, stop it. For your own future and the future of your family and the society around you. We thank Father Clifford Castelino for giving us this very educative, effective talk. May God Almighty bless him and ensure that he moves around far and wide for this social cause and concern. Friends, in the next episode, we shall speak about the effects of alcoholism. If you all have liked this program, please give us a feedback at CCR TV we have mentioned below. Till then, bye-bye.